Boushoku no Berserk is the Japanese title. Berserk of Gluttony is the English title. And this anime of Berserk of Gluttony, the plot is the main character, Fate, is cursed with the skill Gluttony. Gluttony makes him starve all the time, and even if he eats, he's still very hungry. He doesn't feel full. One day, he ends up killing a thief, and when he kills this thief, he develops his skill Gluttony, and his Gluttony skill becomes more powerful. So he starts to learn the true meaning of his skill Gluttony, and now he goes about life with this new developed skill that he has. Which in episode 1, it opens up with some fight scenes, and after a few minutes, we get a glimpse of our main character, who is hungry. So without even reading the title or the plot, like these opening scenes, they're kind of just there to be there, truthfully. Like you kind of notice the very first opening scene as the anime goes on was our main character, Fate, and it was him in the future. But after that, there are just like some fight scenes just to develop this world and to get the atmosphere for the audience of what the world of this anime is like. But it takes a few minutes for us to even meet, I guess, our character, Fate, with how he is right now, which Fate, is standing watching on his job, and he appears to be bullied by holy knights, which to them, when Fate is done his shift, they throw money on the ground, and then Fate gets stomped on and kicked. Fate is bullied because of his skill, which they do not say what his skill is. They only say it through the anime title in a one few second scene that has the skill Gluttony on it, which leads viewers to believe now at maybe 8 minutes, 5 minutes into the anime that his skill just always makes him starve and he's hungry. A female knight named Lady Roxy comes in to rescue Fate. Fate tells Lady Roxy that he's okay. She doesn't need to worry about him, but Lady Roxy is worried about him and doesn't want him to be bullied. But Fate is like, no, it's all good. Don't get involved with any of this. After his shift is over, he goes to a tavern to eat. And as he leaves the tavern, he sees some thieves off in the distance and runs to Lady Roxy to let her know that. Lady Roxy then goes off after the thieves, and Fate is all alone, which he then has to, and does, defeat one of the thieves because he's all alone and he doesn't want to run away. He wants to prove that he can be worthful in this society. So Fate kills one of the thieves, and when that happens, his gluttony skill is activated and he levels up. Fate tells Lady Roxy that she can take credit for defeating this thief. Lady Roxy, in return, tells Fate he should work for her and not be working at the front gate as a bouncer, basically. Fate is able to, with this new developed skill he got, read minds now. And he reads the mind of Lady Roxy, who he already knows is worried about him. And as he reads her mind for a few seconds, she does voice that opinion in her mind that she is worried about Fate. Fate is able to use a skill called Identify to find a good sword in a pile of rusted away swords. Fate has money, and with his new skills, he wants to try to see if he can do something with it. So he goes to market to look for a sword, but because he is very poor, he doesn't have a lot of money, he can only afford very rusted swords. But as he's looking through these swords, he does find a good one, and the sword ends up talking to him. The sword tells Fate to buy him, and that he wants to be a weapon for gluttony. Fate fights monsters with the sword's help, and the sword even gives him advice on fighting. As Fate fights these goblins and kills the goblins, his skill increases, and he learns from the sword that his skill increases every time he kills an enemy. And he's also no longer feeling hungry. So he would feel hungry before, but every time he fights and he wins, he kills someone, his skill Gluttony no longer makes him feel like he's starving. The skill Gluttony is like, oh yeah, I'm full right now, we don't need to eat any food, we can do other things in life. So basically, what we have learned is the anime, my unique skill makes me OP even at level 1, is basically a similar plot to Berserk of Gluttony, just in a different world and different characters. But they are very similar right now, with my unique skill makes me OP even at level 1, and Berserk of Gluttony, they both follow an adventurer, they both follow a guy who is going to be at level 1, and is currently at level 1, for a very long time, but everything else that he has for skills and fighting, they are very much high level skills, but he is just going to be stuck at level 1, but he is going to be okay as an adventurer because he's super powerful. Episode 1 ends with Fate bumping into a man and a little girl, who Fate reads the mind of the little girl and knows she is in trouble and follows them to save her. Fate cannot control his telepathy skill, or he can't control it yet. It just randomly happens. From episode 1, it looks like Berserk of Gluttony will be a darker version of My Unique Skill Makes Me OP even at level 1, which I watched. My Unique Skill Makes Me OP at level 1. That was a summer anime of this past summer. It actually just ended a week or two ago. It is very recent, and that anime was very lighthearted, silly. It was a good adventure anime. But then we have Berserk of Gluttony, which is the same thing. Someone is very powerful. They're going to be stuck at level 1. They have this unique skill, but that is something where Berserk of Gluttony so far, yes, it is very dark. I mean, there's not so much killing, because My Unique Skill, there was killing, but it was of slimes, or if there was killing, you weren't seeing blood. It wasn't as dramatic. It was very much a video game style. Someone dies, they just disappear in the dungeon. Where Berserk of Gluttony, the enemies are dying, they're still lying around. They're still there, they haven't disappeared into thin air, basically. So that's why I say it's going to be a darker version of My Unique Skill Makes Me OP even at level 1, because it's a very similar plot, just basically towards a different audience. It would be My Unique Skill Makes Me OP even at level 1, we'll say it's for the elementary school audience, and then Berserk of Gluttony is for that high school audience. But that's what I think. This anime, Berserk of Gluttony, absolutely reminds me of My Unique Skill Makes Me OP even at level 1, which if any of you have seen both those animes, you can let me know if you think they are the same as well, or if you think they're different. Let me know what you thought of episode 1, if you're going to keep on watching this anime, or if you think that you just hate this anime, you're not going to watch it anymore. But subscribe to my channel and like this video, it really will help me out.